Experience. Earl Austin Jr. here. We're on 590 KLIS, the Lou Information Station. You can listen live, or you can listen live on demand at louinfo.com, or you can check us out on YouTube, or you can check us out on the app if you're walking around. So plenty to get to today. We're going to talk a little high school football in about a half hour with the Lafayette Lancers. They've just finished an undefeated regular season. A lot of good, talented teams, and Lafayette, one of the best in St. Louis. And then we'll talk with, in the easy second hour, Rich Neiman, former Billiken great, will join me and Ron Zetcher as well. And of course, our show will lead up until East St. Louis football, their regular season finale. They'll take on National Power IMG Academy in Florida. So Marie Scott will be on the call today. So, of course, our show is brought to you by Fast Track Auto Transport, St. Louis's go-to company for all your vehicle transport needs. Visit ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004. Thank you, Mark Blue, for his support of the show and everything. But today we're going to talk NBA, and we have another edition of the Young and the Old, and I'm joined by a couple of young whippersnappers in the studio. Of course, you know Ryan Swingler, who does a great job producing, also very knowledgeable sports young man. Ryan, how are you this morning?
Doing good, Earl. Doing good. How are you?
Doing well. And of course, whenever we talk Young and the Old, my nephew Austin Thompson is in the studio here as well. AT, how are you this morning?
I'm good, Uncle Earl. I'm doing good.
Excellent. Of course, we're going to talk the NBA. The association kicked off another season, and we saw some pretty exciting hoops the first couple of nights. I've been glued to it, watching the NBA League Pass, of course, the new network. So let me get a few of your early impressions from what you've seen the first couple of nights of the NBA.
So the first thing I noticed, Victor Wembanyama. Victor, he has a chance to take the Spurs all the way this year.
This year,
yeah,
right now,
all the way to the playoffs.
No, to win it all.
You think?
He just dropped off Anthony Davis and Derek Lively.
I mean, that's rich. We know. Hey, Wemby is. We know it, but wow, y'all stepping out throwing haymakers out here.
You gotta remember, it's like the young teams are who are winning now.
OKC proved that you can do it as a young team.
Yes.
You don't have to wait, even though they did have a couple late playoff exits. So I do want to, but
no, I agree. No, it's definitely one of them spaceships landed on Earth in Texas specifically and dropped off. It was like a Twilight Zone episode and dropped this dude off on us here.
He can do everything.
Yeah. We're seeing it right now how the young teams are just kicking these unks out, because we just saw the Utah Jazz, who we know are going to be a bad team, just run through the Clippers because they're just too old. They can't play defense. Right. They need to play Dunmore or something. I don't know, but they need some defense.
Well, I do agree that this is changing of the guard, and it started about 3-4 years with guys that were in their prime, like Giannis and Jokic, leading their teams to championships. But now, and then Jason coming in, these mid-20s guys entering their prime, and now SGA, who's 25, 26. But you're right, the babies are now starting to What impressed you most about what Wemby? I watched him last night too, as well, against New Orleans. What's the most impressive? Because he
can shoot threes, he blocks shots, he gets to the basket. What's most impressive?
And he's 7'5", by the way.
I just like the way he moves. He doesn't the way he runs the court. He can block a shot, and then Cassell be throwing him a lob on the other end, finish the play. The other center hasn't even crossed half.
Exactly. What I like is he's not like. Because the skill set and stuff, we've seen it before. We just haven't seen it at this height. Right. But the thing is, his flexibility is what's making him so much different than these other big guys. Like, I've never seen a guy 7'6" dribble under his knees, bro. Yes. I've never seen that before. So
the best thing that also as well is that he's physically stronger. Yeah. The first 2 years, you can kind of bully him a little bit.
You saw that last night when Zion tried to bully him.
Right, and that's why he shot so many three-point shots, because he's not able to back you down and get to his spot where he wants to go. So he'd settle, and he's good at shooting threes, but for a man his size, he was shooting an incredible amount of 3-point shots, which were kind of settled. But now what you're seeing is that, like the first night, he shot two. He only shot a few last night, which were late clock type of deals. They're setting him up at the mid post, kind of like where like Paul Pierce, Jason, and guys like that, and letting him work out. And then the way there's dunking, and then he's dunking with just force and authority that just letting you know that this is a new day. This is different than what you've been seeing these first two years. Now he had 9 block shots last night. He fouled out with about 4 minutes to go into overtime, or else he would have had a triple double.
Yeah, Zion was going at him.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to see. Zion dunked on him the first possession of the game, but as you said, AT, he was trying to, Zion bully him down, and he was just kind of like, okay, when you're done, I'm here for you. Now Zion can get downhill. That's when he had the advantage. But that was fun to watch. But let's get back to this. You
I think the Spurs can go out, because I'm about to say, it's not just Wemby, it's the team you have around Wemby too. That you have Cassell, you have, is it Vassell also off the bench?
And they both look the same.
You know what I'm saying? And they both run that high energy. Y'all get in that zone at the top of the key and you turn people over. It reminds me of how OKC turns people over. You guys get those turnovers. Wemby's out running.
And you remember I thought Dylan Harper was very impressive.
Harper,
They still don't have Fox back, right?
Nope. Let's say De'Aaron Fox hasn't even played yet.
And that's the thing. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way, but he is, when he's right, he's one of the best closers.
And that's the thing. I think that's what they need.
But and he also reminds me of those other 2 guards that we just say do well. Like, he's gonna play defense. He's gonna keep that high motor. He's gonna get steals.
What was also fun now is that we didn't see that his rookie year. They're passing the ball to Wemby when he's open. I used to throw shoes at the TV his rookie year, where they were like, they would miss him and they would throw the ball, and the guys were like, hey, read the room. We're not here for you. But now, just because Wemby's go get you the ball.
Yeah. See, now the only thing that I will say is going to stop the Spurs, the Denver Nuggets look good.
Well, it's the West, man.
The Denver Nuggets
it's just the West.
These dudes.
The Nuggets are good.
That's what I'm saying. They're babies.
Okay, is good.
Y'all got them coming from the West.
But the Spurs can no one can guard Wemby.
But
as long as he's the guy, just like when SGA at the end of the game, no one can guard him. He's either getting fouled or he's getting a bucket. And if you have one of those guys, like Bron in his prime, like Luka right now,
you always got a chance.
You know what I'm saying? You can close just like just how Golden State spoiled Denver's game last night. He had 50. Aaron Gordon had 50, but you still got Steph Curry at the end. Yeah, exactly. And you already know at the end of the day.
It all goes down to who got the best stars. When it's 2 minutes left, it's fourth quarter, they're playing, they're pressing up, they're not giving up no open threes. Who's going to get a bucket by themselves, bro?
You need support. You need the cast to get us to that final. And that's OKC. They always get them to that final close game. And they're like, SGA,
take it over.
Take us home. Yeah, you may have 14, but now it's time for you to go get 55.
Now, that was quite a opening night. NBC, back on NBC since the Jordan days, new crew, new energy. And then all of a sudden you get this incredible double overtime game between, we think, 2 of the top contenders in the league with OKC and Houston. And they both, they delivered a good one. That just kind of let you, they show, like I said, this was just the first game of 82, and that was a double overtime classic already.
I feel like Houston needs to make some adjustments, though.
Rockets need a point guard bad, man.
Like you're saying.
Even if they would have just picked up Westbrook, even though he can't shoot, at least he would teach Amin Thompson how to get his spots as a slasher. Because it looks like right now he's just settling for threes because they know he can't shoot, and it's not going to work the whole season.
Yeah, they need. It's almost with Van Fleet. That's a big hit. That's a big hit because he
gets you in your offense.
He makes threes. He was a champion.
Yeah, he got that champion.
He's a champion. So that's so it's almost like, even if they got one of the Jones brothers, they're both solid.
Or Holiday brothers.
Yeah, but maybe the younger Holiday. I mean, I was the Drews with Portland.
I'm talking about Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. But yeah, you do need something. But
someone who can initiate your offense that doesn't come down and shoot the ball without passing,
right?
And that doesn't need screens in the backcourt to get the ball up. Like, you're not getting turned 15 times.
You know what just hit me though? I think even though Portland is in a lot of disarray right now, I think Holiday could be an option for a trade or something down the line to Houston.
Right, but they looked good last night. Well, they looked good the opening night too. They were up the whole game.
Yeah, Sengun is amazing.
Yeah, and Ant with Supernova just to pull that game out for Minnesota. Then all the you know what, hit the fan with Chauncey and everything. And then they come up last night and beat the Golden State like a drum. Now we knew GSW was probably an older team on a back-to-back after playing overtime the night before. So that was going to be a tough one. But like you said, teams like Portland on a given night, like jumped and beat a Golden State on a back-to-back. You talked about what Utah did to the Clippers. Like I said, the young teams aren't, because they got energy. They're just.
You were just talking about Washington.
Yeah. Last night, I watched Washington just took it in Dallas.
Beginning of the season, everybody 0-0. Might as well play hard right now.
And see, look, that's the thing I feel like about young teams. I feel like veterans are like, oh, there's 82 games. The youngins are like, no, this is a game. We trying to win, right? Like every game matters.
You remember when who was it? Washington, they started off like 15-3 or something one year, and then they trailed off. But like the young teams, they always play hard in the beginning, but that season's a grind, man.
It most definitely is.
Yeah, they're not easy wins because they're gonna like you said, they're trying to learn and they're gonna play hard for that full 48 minutes.
So I do want to ask, is it too early to say Cooper Flag bust or not?
Too early. He's not even playing his right position for
it. That takes a year or so. Yeah, that's not even.
Okay, I'm just saying.
He a plug and play player, man. He don't even have his PG.
If he's supposed to be the LeBron James of this generation, LeBron was coming in first. No, you know what I'm saying? LeBron played out of position. LeBron, if you're gonna try to, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be the LeBron James. But now we got the excuse that he's out of position. LeBron can't be out of position.
Wemby is the.
Yeah, I think Wemby's that guy.
Wemby's that guy.
Okay. I think. Because look, this past year from Duke, it was the whole. Yeah, it was the whole.
Sure. But Wemby is that
next generational talent.
Generational of the babies coming up. You know, right now it's definitely him already. But it'll be interesting to see what happens, when Kyrie comes back. And see, that's the thing, he's on a team that's veteran, laden. So and see, I know the point guard experience. Remember, Jason Kidd was in Milwaukee, and he caught a lot of heat when he put Giannis at point guard. He's the one that put the ball in Giannis's hands when he was 19 years old, and people were on him. They were on J Kidd's head. He, what are you doing? And
ended up working.
Didn't realize he was unleashing. He was a Frankenstein monster in Milwaukee. And now Giannis, you can't get the ball out of his hands. But now he's just a downhill, and obviously he's not as smooth as Wemby. But
Wemby or Giannis right now.
Give me Wemby.
Wemby because of the age. Just because of the age.
I don't even talking. Just like you were just saying, the fluidity of his game.
No,
you're not seeing Giannis go tween, ball fake, step back. Oh, bump me in the chest, another ball fake, and one AD.
It's I'm a Spurs guy too, but like I said, but we know it. But we just pray for health.
Yeah,
we just pray for health because it's something we have never seen before of our game like this as well. Want to get your thoughts on? We had some rookies that really stepped up early and gave early indications. We talked a little bit about Cooper, but Philadelphia went into Boston and won opening night.
The generator.
And
the generator, man.
Yeah, people realize Maxey scored 40 that night, and VJ 34 points.
Yeah.
And tell Embiid he can move along, bro. Tell Embiid he can go, bro. Tell that big dude that don't want to play every game. Send him to the Clippers.
Trade him for something. Yeah, where the players go to die.
Here we go.
NBA graveyard.
That's why this is a young deal. One game you got a parade on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. You got a championship parade. One game in Philly. Now Joel Embiid is in the old folks home. After one game.
Oh,
man.
It's been 3-4 years, man.
How about this? We'll keep you when we play Denver. We'll keep you on the bench. We play Denver. You go guard Jokic. But the game has changed.
It's over, bro.
Paul George, too? Are you going to send him back?
No, he can stay. He can do his little podcast stuff. Just don't get in the way of VJ and Max.
Exactly.
One game and you got these guys.
PG's a sixth man, off the bench. Come in, give us some old man minutes.
Get that little 13 points.
Play the jazz music, highlight tape.
Erica Badu.
Yeah, get the ball back to VJ.
Don't wait.
He can't guard him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
DJ, he can shoot, and he looked like Russell Westbrook the way he attacked the rim.
But with a jump shot.
Yeah,
Sad, like
that's
Then-
scary.
Then Jared McCain's coming back.
Yeah, that's right. He's hurt.
Quentin
yeah.
Grimes, for some reason, wants to average 20. So it's
Right.
like,
So we're gonna win in the NBA with all a bunch of 6'3" numbers. When the league's getting bigger,
if they can't guard coming back on the court.
league's getting bigger. But I give it to you, man. He's good. So we also had I don't know if you had a chance to, like I said, we talked about the Wizards and he's not a rookie, Keyshawn George, but Trey Johnson from Texas was getting buckets last night in Dallas. But I think people thought that he was one of the more impressive. I mean, I watched him in Texas. He was one of the more impressive bucket getters, shooters.
He was making a lot of middies too.
Just ready-made NBA scorers with an NBA game, and that's starting to come hold early. With Spurs, Dylan Harper of the Spurs.
I liked him off the bench.
What do you like about him off the bench?
I like having a big guard off the bench that can also
He's
run
big.
the offense. And his dad was in the NBA, so he understands what's going on, and he knows he's gonna have his time. But it's just it's a log jam at point guard right now.
Yeah, they're deep. They're deep. But also, I feel like that depth is what you need in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you're not.
We
gonna
saw
win.
that last year with these two teams that made it.
Exactly. You have to just go at least 9 deep on your team and just be able to rotate,
especially in the playoffs because everybody's playing so hard. Those 7 rotations, like the 2014, that's not going to happen anymore.
No,
but it also Cassell can go harder on defense because he knows I can get subbed out and it's not going to drop off, and then I can come back. I don't have to pace myself. All the guards can go. They all go Dort. They're all just they can guard full court,
right?
Because they know somebody else is going to rotate in, and we're going to keep the energy up.
I genuinely Dort is a good player, but I've never seen a lockdown defender play football the whole game, man. He be hacking, bro.
That's how we used to play, but that's the game that people make fun of. It was physical, hard nose, but OKC kind of bought that back.
Yeah, he did.
Even though they're a new age, it's funny, they're a new age young basketball team, and we're in the new age to shoot a lot of threes, but
they really don't.
But they really don't.
Yeah,
their star player. Their star player is a mid-range monster. Their second best player, Jalen's a midi guy.
Yeah,
and they play strong arm, brokerage firm, beat on you defense, led by Lou Dort.
And like you said, they're all game though.
All game.
But if you're I feel like sometimes the refs are if they're fouling every play, they can't call it.
You got to just keep playing.
You know what I'm saying? So then, and then if you foul every play, every game, at a certain point, you become the defensive team. So refs are that's how they play. They always get steals.
But see, that's the thing.
That shit becomes your identity.
You see some young teams like that. You see. Not only OKC leads the way, but Houston
plays like that. That's why I was cool with it, though.
And you see Detroit.
Yeah, I think Detroit last night.
Houston were getting ready to fight. They almost fight. It's funny because
Isaiah Stewart, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
But the twins.
The twins.
They're both. And then Jalen Duren almost knocked out Thompson with an elbow. But they say those teams mirror each other. And then Orlando's another team. And these are young teams that are bringing back physicality type play. The coaches are bringing it back. Miami, Orlando lost to Boston, but they beat the heck out of Boston to the point where they couldn't have function against New York.
Yeah.
How do you think Boston's going to be this year?
We were talking bad,
terrible.
Yeah,
you think they're going to be terrible?
I mean, they'll be functional.
They did everything they could to get that ring.
Yeah,
and now you know what I'm saying. They had a chance last year, would have been for the 2 rings, but now Jason's not playing. Drew Holiday's gone. Al Horford's gone. Yes. The whole team. We blew up the team to win, and we won.
But like in that overtime period, they were down 2. Who they went to get the last shot?
I didn't even look.
Jaylen Brown, I hope.
Peyton Pritchard.
You know what's crazy though? Pritchard is clutch, man. But I wouldn't give him the ball.
He is facts, but I don't want to.
He's like giving him the ball.
Into the third quarter, half court clutch. He's
game on the line.
He's Jason, Jalen.
They out the game.
Dribble, penetrate, kick out. 3-point.
Even in his defense, he don't get paid enough to take the last shot.
No, he's
paying for it. You know what I'm saying?
That's where we are in Boston. It wasn't even D. White or Jalen.
Even Simons.
He was good. So no, they'll compete.
Bad.
They'll compete, but
they might make the playoffs.
They're in the East.
Exactly.
It's just too much.
They're in the East.
They're more of it's a rebuild. Now,
who do you like out of the East to go to the conference championship? I know the Knicks, obviously returning team.
I mean, New York and Cleveland, just based on
what we know,
what we have, what they have, and what we know. But Cleveland's always going to be a question mark. Even with they have everybody, because do they have championship toughness?
And will they have everybody come playoff time?
Right,
exactly.
You know,
Darius Garland stays.
Yeah, I mean, Mobley's becoming a superstar. Yeah. I think he's a superstar. He's going to surpass Donovan Mitchell as a superstar. Mitchell is a dude, no doubt about it. But Mobley, defensive player of the year, now shooting threes, handles. He's going to be a superstar. He's only 23 years old, and he's going to have to take that next step as well.
Orlando's got a chance.
I was going to say Orlando.
I love Orlando.
I
love.
Paolo's going to have to make that jump this year. Though.
Yeah,
that jump that we've seen everybody else make, like that SGA, that take us home.
You know who I got out of the East though?
Yeah.
Because it's the East. Miami.
You see how many points they scored last night?
Miami, man. I like that Bam's playing the 4. I like that. I like Norman Powell. That's a champion. Wiggins, that's a champion. Mm-hmm. I like that.
And then Hero's not even there yet.
Hero's not even playing yet.
I didn't even think about it. Miami's always a contender, though, I feel like.
But they're always in the mix. Yeah. They're always in the mix. But I think Orlando, because that Bane is a great addition. Yeah. But I think Banchero is one, like you say, he needs to make the jump to find action around the post, mid post, because he right now
he wants to be Paul George. He's so bad.
He's too big. He's in show out. He's in show out mode.
Do you
right
remember
now.
Pistons Blake Griffin?
I want to show
you. That's what I need from him.
Exactly what I was about to say. Pistons Blake Griffin is what
added to what he does right now. Now he becomes a superstar. Right now he's trying to show you.
He wants the Erykah Badu highlights, but it's like no, you got the LeBron body, bro.
That's exactly. So if he wants to become a champion, that part of the game, in addition to what he does, is what he's got to bring to it. So absolutely as well. We got to have we got one more minute before we get out of here. Luka.
Yeah, you know I'm a Lakers fan. I like Luka. I like Luka a lot. He's been playing really well.
Is Bron? I feel like this team, as always, it's going to depend on how good Bron is.
Of course,
because Luka can get them to the playoffs, but he gonna need Bron to get them to the championship, and then Luka can finish it. Because right now they're a good team, but you still need. But I don't know. Is Bron still that guy?
I think he just needs to be better than what Anthony Davis was.
For Bron. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, that's a great point. That's a great point.
He will, but defensively, no way. He can't. I mean,
he
can't impact the game defensively.
He's not going to chase down blocks like he used to.
But offensively, he's still going to be if he comes back.
Is he though?
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be interesting to see what he. I think he's.
I feel like you remember the days where Bron's quick first step was like unmatchable. Yeah. Now people are like,
man, it's Bron.
Now they're taking him. Now these youngins
he'll still debo you to the basket. Yeah. So it'll be interesting as well. Well, AT, it's a pleasure you dropping by as well.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Bring you back, talk some more NBA, and of course, we'll be getting into college basketball as well.
Most definitely. See Mizzou last night.
Yeah, Mizzou, a nice win, and of course, we'll be slip in a little Texas Longhorn. He's a big Texas Longhorns.
I gotta ask you about Arch
fan. And that's his team. I love how that happened. He's always been a Texas Longhorns fan as well. So we had a lot of arguments before that semifinal game last year. So we're looking forward to talking that. Thank you for joining us.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Back. We have a show every day on the phone anyway, so we'll continue this show this evening sometime.
Most definitely.
All right. So that's AT, and we'll be back. We'll have the Lafayette Lancers football team. You're listening to the Earl Austin Experience on 590 The Fan and live on demand at luinfo.com. thank young nephew Austin Thompson and Ryan Swingler for another segment of The Young and the Old. But now we're going to talk some high school football. We're heading into the nitty gritty now. Playoffs start next week, and we're joined by a very special group of young men. The Lafayette Lancers are in the house here, coming off an undefeated season, and we're going to first talk with head coach Kurt Mueller. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Thank you. Like I said, I know, and you play on a Friday night, and so I know it's tough to get guys up early in the morning to come to the radio, so we really appreciate you joining us here and everything. First year head coach at Lafayette, quite a debut at 9-0. Was it all you expected, being a first year head coach at taking over a top program? What's it been like for you?
It's been amazing. I don't know if it's been all I've expected. There's a lot of new things that come your way every day, and really it's these seniors that are here with us today, and our whole senior class, and just our program as a whole. It's been an amazing community sport's been amazing. School community's been amazing. We got a great athletic director, great head principal, and most importantly, we got great kids, and that's why we are what we are right now. We're 9-0 because of our senior class, and just really excited for them and everything they've done this year.
And we're going to meet the young men. First of all, I want to let us give us your name and your position and what grade you in. Just go.
My name's Terrence Bills. I'm an ATH. I play everything, and I'm a class of 2026 senior.
I'm Baron James. I play D end and left tackle, and I'm also a senior.
My name is Jack Abel. I play D tackle, and I'm a senior too.
My name's Noah Ice. I play right tackle and D end. I'm also a senior as well.
We'll start with Noah. We'll go on down the line there. What does it mean? See, a lot of people, obviously look at state tournaments, state playoffs, state championships and everything, but I'm one of those old school guys. Those are important too, but I think regular season and conference championships and things like that mean a lot to you, to me as well. What does it mean to you to be able to go through the season undefeated, especially against a tough schedule that you played this year?
Well, our biggest focus this year was going game by game and letting next week, we'll decide that next week. So we always focused on the game itself at hand, and whatever follows.
Oh, yeah, no, it's basically what Noah said. We go by game by game, There's we don't try to overlook anything. That's our biggest point. We got to take everybody seriously. Don't overlook anybody. And, yeah.
Same thing. We don't really look over week by week. Same. Even if the record is not as good, we still take every team. Same effort, same everything. Always work hard. Monday workouts, Saturday practices, lots of film.
Oh yeah, it kind of mean a lot though for it to be our last year. We won every regular season game, but the job ain't really finished though. We still got more to do. So yeah.
And like you said, first year coach, this is a team that made a pretty good run in the state playoffs last year. So, a lot of coaches get new coaches, take over programs where they can set expectations. Maybe it's a rebuild and everything. What was that like? A team that made a strong run in the playoffs, pulled off a big win at Cardinal Ritter. What was that like for you taking over? And you're leaving a program that's experienced a lot of success as well.
Yeah. For me, I think the biggest thing was just continue the success that Lafayette's had. Obviously, Coach Manny built a great program over 20 years and got a lot of respect for Coach Manny. And the biggest thing for us was just family and continue to grow our program as one Lancer family. That's kind of a term we use all the time, Lancer family. So just like all the kids said, we take everything one day at a time. And our goal this year and kind of our slogan was, have the mindset that you're never going to be outworked. And for us, that was our mindset every single day. So we are one day at a time. We're 1 week at a time. And we are building this thing just each and every day. And that just means get in the weight room. That means do extra work in film. And that means go out and practice as hard as you can and execute and practice every day and then take it out to Friday nights. So we're a process-oriented football team. And that's just kind of what we do.
When you took over, did you see that you had a bunch of motivated kids already, knowing that they made a run and maybe didn't reach the roles that rolled their ultimate goals? So were you able to encounter a bunch of motivated kids ready to work? And
oh yeah, our senior class is very motivated. I think that they had the mindset of, it's not a rebuilding year. We're kind of just reloading. So that was kind of our mindset going into this year. And our seniors really took charge of our team. And that's what I've been most impressed with. And they've set the foundation of everything that, I want this program to continue to do after they're gone as well. And they've done a fantastic job coaching up all of our younger guys and setting, like, these are the standards. This is what we do in the weight room. This is what we do in the film room. This is what we do in the classroom. This is how we practice, and this is how we play. And it's been our senior class that set the foundation for that.
We start first down the line with Therese. You guys have made a nice run. As we talked about, you had the big win against Cardinal Ritter last year on the road. How much of that success last year motivated you guys to come back and want to take things a step further this year?
So after that loss against Elias, I felt something that I don't want to feel again. Like, that loss, it really hurt me. So, like, going into this year, it just made me, like, want to work harder, go harder, and, like, don't lose it all. Like, I need that state. I need that. So, yeah.
And Terrence, so that was a tough loss, and I don't like losing that much. So it motivated me to keep work throughout the summer, keep working throughout the season, and it's always been in the back of my head that I want to win it all this year.
Yeah, no, basically what Terrence said after the Elias game, we came so close to going to the state championship and finally playing, and just to lose by 1 point or by a missed field goal and all that stuff, it really hurt. And so every workout, I just had that in the back of my mind and stuff like that. So we just keep our head focused, and we're going.
I think they said it really well. But, Elias wasn't our only loss last year. So we had other things to come off of. And we've had good success this year already, battling back from that. So I just hope to keep it going.
Who are some of the guys, could be in this room, that kind of got things together in during the workouts, weight room? Who are some of the guys that kind of got the guys together? Really, usually, a coach obviously sets the table, but you got players also that want to kind of set things. And who are some of the guys on the team that really did that for you guys?
I think everyone on this table, but day by day it changes. Some days it'll be one kid, and the next day you'll look over and it's another kid telling you, you got this. So I think it's the community as a whole. We love each other. We bond with each other. We're always doing stuff together. Everybody helps everybody.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of leaders on our team. If some guy's not stepping up, you have another guy's gonna step up, and that's how it's gonna be. And after last year's loss and that stuff, we kind of knew what we had to do to figure it out. And we had all of our seniors stepped up, a couple of our juniors stepped up to lead and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Our whole senior class is very motivated. So, like Noah said, some days other guys will step up. If you're having a rough day, they'll help pick you up, help you work out, help you get through the workout, and keep making sure you have that good work ethic in the weight room.
Yeah, like on Mondays, you could just kind of hear everybody telling every single body, you got this, let's go. We all pick each other up. So, like he said, as a community, as a whole, the team, everybody get into it, and we all push each other to get better.
Of course, the Rockwood School District has just excellent football, all four programs. Obviously, Layfayette, you played Marquette last night. Summit had a good history, and obviously Eureka, which you had that big win a couple of weeks ago. What's it like when you're playing a fellow Rockwood school on a Friday night? Start coming all the way down the line. How is that even a little more special when you're playing one of your district rival brothers?
Yeah, of course it's exciting. They are rivals, especially the Better 109. All my 4 years of me being there, I look forward to playing all our rivals. And last year was our first year playing it was my first year playing Rockwood Summit, and that game, it was kind of fun because it was another rival, and the first time we got to play them. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to play them games. It kind of be a lot different because we grew up knowing them, so it'd be a little different when we playing against them. But it'd be fun though.
Oh yeah, I love our district rivals. There's nothing like it. The atmosphere is great. It's gonna be a good game, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, playing the Rockwood schools are pretty fun. Eureka's up there. Eureka's one of the best games, I feel like. Then Marquette's second. And then we don't really play Summit that much. I played them one time.
Right.
But it's all the games are pretty fun. In the Rockwood School District, they always pack out, and it's always a good game. All these teams always have good players and stuff like that. So it's always a fun game to look forward to.
I mean, yeah, a lot of these kids we've been playing with since.
Yeah, you probably played
birth,
together.
So, yeah, we've been playing baseball, football. I mean, soccer for a little bit. I learned what cardio was, so that was about it. But no, I mean, we've been playing together since we were younger. We know everybody. Went to school with them sometimes, so it's a blast. It's a blast, especially beating them.
Absolutely. Now, like I say, the last 5 years with Kirkwood, like I said, you're everybody knows the Kirkwood-Webster Turkey Day rivalry. That's one. But what's it like to have multiple rivals? Like I say, Summit every now and then, but Marquette right there, Eureka like there. It's like to have kind of multiple rivals in that district.
I think what it means to have multiple rivals is we have a lot of good programs in our district, good kids in our district, good coaches in our district, and as a program, we got a lot of respect for all the teams in our district, and their kids play hard and their coaches work very, very hard, and we all know that. And it's it's a battle every time we play. That's why it's called the Battle of 109 or the Mayor's Bowl Trophy, which was last night at the Marquette game. And our school takes pride in competing in those games, and this year we won those games, and we know that it's going to be a continued competition down the road. So we're looking forward to it.
In addition to the district rivals, you guys played a very good schedule as well. And one of those big games, obviously, week 3 or 4, I forget, was Kirkwood. And knowing that Coach came from Kirkwood, did you want to give a little extra to make sure Coach got that win against his old school and his old friends?
Yeah, I can kind of say we kind of like made that a little rival ourselves because as him coming from there last year and we beat them last year, we knew that they really wanted their game. So we had to come with our A game and really try to do what we have to do to get that win because he came from there and we beat them last year. So they really wanted to beat us. So yeah.
Yeah, like Coach always says, it was like their Super Bowl because he came from there. We beat them last year and we knew it was going to be a tough game, but it definitely gave us a lot of motivation knowing that he came from there, and it helped us win.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like the game was a little bigger because Coach came from there. He was a coach there for 5 years. He left to come join our team, and it really showed it really meant something to him and really meant something to us that we go play our hearts out, and we won, and that's what happened.
I think Jack said it really well. It was more, as much as we play as a team this year, the team focus I feel like was a lot on being together and doing it for Coach. It really helped out, especially in those hard times when the game was closer.
Any emotions going into that game? I mean, those are friends. Those are guys you help develop and everything. And I mean, it happens all the time. Assistant coaches leave. It happens all the time. So it's I know it could be tough, but like you said, this is a new group and these are your guys and everything. So did you have to kind of put that to the side and keep your kids focused on what they had to do that particular day and just kind of keep whatever personal feelings and emotions aside?
Yeah, I think I just tried to make it all about our kids and our team and our program, and just looked at it as this is another opponent for our kids. And obviously, I think of Jeremy like he's a brother to me, and have a lot of respect for all Kirkwood's coaches. Coached up a lot of their players over the years and love all their players. But for us, it was about our team. It was about our seniors. It was about the Lafayette Lancers and just us executing our job. That's what we made it about that week, and that's what we continue to make it about every week. It's about us more than it is about anyone else, and we just focus on all the things that we can do as a unit to continue to get better.
I know we talk a lot of different, when you talk about high school football, there are a lot of programs. We talk CBC, DeSmet, East St. Louis, a lot of the great programs around. Now, you don't know it's your first year there, but I know the Lafayette football history is very impressive. Like you say, Coach Mann, 20 years, even before that. Is that has to be, you enjoy keeping that tradition alive with this group, but aware of how the success that Lafayette has enjoyed for decades now?
Yeah, Lafayette football means a lot to me, and I don't even know if these guys know this, but my father, who is 65 years old, played at Lafayette, and he is a Lancer grad, and so it does mean a lot to me. And this program as a whole is something that I plan on, with everybody else involved, our whole school community, coaching staff, everyone, to continue to grow it and continue to build it. And one thing that Coach Manny said to me when I took this job was just continue to make it a better place. So that's what we're trying to do every single day.
How's the feeling of being part of a great tradition and being able to continue that tradition? Not only what you're doing this year, but what you guys have done in your careers. How satisfying has that been for you to really kind of keep the Lafayette tradition alive and going strong?
I think it's important. This year especially, we haven't had an undefeated season since 2012 or 2013. So it's been a minute. And then you talk about tradition. I mean, since we were younger, playing with the Junior Lancers, our junior program, we've watched everyone and look up to everyone. And I know there are kids always asking for Taranza stuff after the game. So I think that tradition is a big deal.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. There's a great tradition behind it, like what Noah said with the Junior Lancers. A lot of us try to get out for some of the games, go support them because they all go to our games and stuff like that. But it's really great being a Lafayette Lancer, There's nothing better than that.
Yeah, it's great with all the tradition. Like when I came in freshman year, we were a great team, and it set like a precedent and like motivated me to keep playing good. And I hope that we can pass on that tradition to the younger kids.
Yeah, like Noah said, like it's a good tradition and stuff. Like I do enjoy giving the little kids like my stuff after the game and stuff. And I try to make it to like some of their games. Like last week, I went to their game against Eureka. They had played Eureka. I went to their game to watch them play and stuff. And like just knowing that one day they're gonna be in my shoes, like they're gonna be a senior at Lafayette playing, and like just like a good tradition.
That's so important because one thing I always talk to at the end of my interviews, I can say it now, I tell the high school kids, you're people that you look up to coming up, but they're always younger people watching you because you are role models to a lot of young people, and to see that you're reaching back already while you're still playing, that means so much. I imagine that's something that has to really make you burst with pride to hear your seniors not only leading the juniors and the underclassmen, but the middle school guys that you'll be coaching 5-6 years down the road, and getting that valuable knowledge from them right now while they're still playing for you.
For sure. This senior class, I've told them all year since I got here in the spring, is they are a special group. And the reason why they're such a special group is because of how they treat everyone else around them and how they build up everyone else around them, and how everyone gravitates towards them and really becomes better by just being around them. So, for us, it was get down to the Junior Lancers. The Junior Lancers have practice after we do. We're a community. We're a family. And I tell our guys, go give them a fist bump, go give them a high five, go talk to the kids, continually support the kids coming up because they're looking up to you. And they know that, and other coaches in our school have kids in the Junior Lancers, and their kids are on the sideline, and their kids want autographs and pictures after the game. And it's because of these guys, and they're looking up to these guys, and we hope that continues moving forward. We have another group just like that.
Finally, we district playoffs are upon us, and you're in by far the best district in the state of any class. It's a state Final Four. It's just an unbelievable with you, CBC, both undefeated, SLU High, DeSmet. Quite a challenge, no question.
Yeah, no question. I think, as a coaching staff, we talked about it, and our belief is that there's 4 of the best teams, not only in St. Louis, but in the state in our district. And I think that says a lot about St. Louis football. And, we're ready to compete. And we got a lot of respect for every team in our district. All those coaches work very hard. All those teams and programs work very hard. But, we do too. And that's our thing, is just show up and compete every day. And that's what we're going to do moving forward. So I said it to the team last night. This is a new season for us, and it starts now. We play SLU in 2 weeks, and our preparation starts now, and we're going to prepare. And that's how we do things. We're process oriented, and we're ready to go.
That's one thing, like you say, like I say, a lot of people would, in past would whine and complain, but you look at it as a challenge and an opportunity to really take your program to another level, doesn't it? I imagine.
Yeah, we look at every week like it's an opportunity. Right. So we continue to look at it just like that. And, we don't have any control of who we're playing. We just have control over ourselves and what we're going to do on Friday nights as far as being a team, working as a group, and executing. So that's our main focus, and that's what we've done all year. That's what we're going to continue to do moving forward.
I imagine in a couple of weeks that's going to be a big crowd and you'll be hosting. I assume I think you're the 2 seed. So absolutely. Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate you joining me in the studio. Congratulations on, I guess, a conference championship, an undefeated season. Fantastic. Continue to play well. Hope you make some more great memories in the next month or so. So thank you very much once again. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We're just so proud of our senior class and so excited for them, and we're still going.
Absolutely. So in a couple of weeks, Lafayette High School will be hosting St. Louis U High in the. Oh, you want to say a final word from it? Are you okay?
Man, I ain't got nothing to
You
say.
say okay? No, you did fine. Okay, but I appreciate you once again joining us. You guys are doing a great job as well. Once again, the show, Earl Austin Experience, is brought to you by Fast Track Auto Transport, St. Louis's go-to company for all your vehicle transport needs. Visit ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004. Lafayette 9-0, great program as well. Once again, thank you very much. We'll be joined by Ron Zetcher in the Easy second hour and Pelican Hall of Famer Rich Neiman after this timeout. We'll see you on the other side. You're listening to the Earl Austin Experience on the Lou Information Station, or you can listen online at LouInfo. Flyers football. They closed the regular season against IMG Academy in Florida. Should be a heck of a game as well. Good luck to Coach Sunken and the crew. Of course, you can listen on Lou Information Station, live on demand. We're also on YouTube, or you can catch us on the app. It's, of course, the 10 o'clock hour, and it's the easy second hour, and we're joined by my co-host, Ron Zetcher, the Hall of Famer himself. And Ron, good morning to you.
Good morning, Earl. You had a, excuse me, you had a very, very good show from 9 to 10. You had that Lafayette football team, and what a good-looking bunch of kids they are.
Absolutely. 9-0, and looking forward to make a good playoff run this year.
When they were leaving, I was kind of messing around with a few of them, and I said, you don't want that number one. You want that 0 all the way through. You're on your way. They haven't lost one yet.
Haven't lost one yet.
So I wish them good luck. They seem like just really a bunch of really fine kids and a good first-year coach.
Yes, yes.
Where did he come from, Earl?
He was at Kirkwood last year for 5 years with Jeremy Macklin, who's done a nice job at Kirkwood. And so it's his first year head coach there.
Also, Earl, what's your nephew's name? I'm doing
Austin Thompson, AT there.
So, Earl, before we get started, I do have a quick shout out. Number one, I want to have a shout out to Tony Vitello.
Wow, how about that?
That's an awesome deal, isn't it?
How about that?
I text his dad, and Rich, you see his dad all the time. His dad, he's texts me back, surreal. That's what he said. Surreal.
For those who don't know, we had Greg Vitello, Hall of Famer, on the show a couple of weeks ago, and his son Tony is a national championship coach at Tennessee, and just was named the manager of the San Francisco Giants. Very rare you see that. You see in the football, NFL, Jimmy Johnson, Steve Spurrier, and Luke Saban. You've seen it in basketball, going from college to the pros, but you don't rarely. I don't remember seeing the college coach get a major league managing job. So that's a tremendous.
It's phenomenal. I'm so happy for him. And listen, he's had a great career so far. So let's see, maybe he'll extend it to the major league level. And before we get started with our great guests today, I'll introduce them shortly. I have a shout out to Ladue had their first Hall of Fame, Earl. And I wanted to say something last week about it, and I forgot. But here's some of the people who went in the first time, and I think they really had some high-end people. They had Andy Russell, the great football player.
That's pretty high-end right there.
10-year captain of the Steelers. Becky Sauerman, not too bad.
Yes.
Pretty good soccer player. And then Eddie Velton, Lou Brock Jr., Steve Smith, who was my teammate at Washington U, baseball guy, and then Greg Polinsky. You remember him, Earl?
Ooh, a bucket.
He could shoot the basketball. Yes. So those are just a few that I want to mention. But right now, we're going to concentrate on our guest today, Mr. Rich Neiman, the DeBorg Hall of Famer. And also, you are, gee whiz, what do they call that? Distinguished alumni from DeBorg, which is quite a thing. And I read about it. It's great, Rich. Good morning, Rich.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me here.
Well, we're honored to have you here. And the thing I hear about Rich Neiman all the time, other than what a great player you were and everything, is what a brilliant man you are, a chemistry major, but also one of the nicest, most humble men around.
That's the most important part to me. I don't know about brilliant, but I've enjoyed teaching for a long time.
Well, when I say brilliant, and I'm a phys ed major and you're a chemistry major, I think that'll answer that question about brilliance. So anyway, Earl, what do you think about this guy? You know him.
I second that. One of the nicest people you will ever meet. Former Billiken great as well, and still see him at season 6, see him at the games. That's what I love about Billiken basketball as well. I get the chance to see so many of you not only stay in the community, but I see you at all the games all the time, whether it's Jimmy Irving, Joe Wiley, now some of the younger guys, Troy Robertson, Ryan Luchtefeld, but to see so many generations of Billiken players still at the games, that touches me, and I always love seeing you at the games.
Well, thank you. No, it's a fun place to be. Good group of people. So what's great to cheer. Great to cheer.
So Earl, you could maybe answer this question. I was talking, and Mr. Sandy Pomerantz told me to say hello to Rich, and they had lunch the other day. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that luncheon with those guys too, Rich. You know,
Sure.
It sounded like it was a great day. But anyway, Pomerantz told me this is what he thinks. He held the record for the most points scored in the Normandy tournament. And then Bill Bradley broke his record, Earl. And then Rich Neiman broke Bill Bradley's record. Does Rich still hold the record for the most points in the Normandy tournament, do you think?
I'm not sure, but he was up there. Talk about how big the Normandy tournament was.
32 teams, I think. They had 2 divisions, and it was pretty neat experience.
Well, Rich,
I got to shoot all the time. I don't think Bill did.
Well, in 1964, when you guys won the state championship at the Berg High School, didn't you win the Normandy tournament that year also?
We did not. In fact, I guess this is my first experience of crying. We played Rittner and Tim Marting.
Tim Marting, yes.
Tim Marting was a guard forward, and he was shooting from about 15, 17 feet, and I was shooting from about 3 inches, and he made more than I did. And I was just like, I still remember 82-80 we lost.
Tell me a little bit about your coach at DeBerg, Mr. Locks.
Roger Locks was a history teacher, and I'm not exactly sure how he got into the coaching situation, other than as teachers retire and move on. His father was the announcer for the Cardinals back in the early days. I'm going to say the 40s at least.
France Locks.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. And Roger was, a good teacher, pretty mild-mannered most of the time. So we didn't have a lot of the stories of yelling and screaming. It was we just played. And the biggest thing, again, with the theme of teamwork, and that's what we had. There were guys that didn't mind just throwing me the ball. And that's the way it worked out.
That's a great honor to be a state champion. And then you had a little guard, and you and I talked a little bit about him before. Tell Earl a little bit about O'Brien, that guard he was a fiery little guy, right?
He was. John, we've been together for a long, long time. Still see him. He would yell at me if I didn't do the right thing. He literally taught me about going to get the ball. He was going to pass it near the rim, and all I had to do was kind of catch it and flip it up there a little bit. So it was a good combination.
That's great. Well, it's a great honor to be a state champion, and also to be just a good human being like you are. Listen, when you went to St. Louis U, who recruited you?
John Bennington. The schools at which I visited, my dad had passed, so my mom was here, and I almost pretty much knew I was going to stay. Bennington was pretty low key, but he would be the guy that would drive me to the airport so I could go see the other school. But anyway, it worked out really, really well. And then he left my sophomore year. He went to Michigan State.
Who took over then? Randy?
No, Buddy Bramer.
Oh, wow.
He had won the NAIA at Rockhurst. And, the whole thing was pretty political. I understand. I didn't really know, but all these alumni are involved, and who's this guy and who's get that guy. So I think it came down to Buddy Bramer and Jack Mimlitz, who eventually worked at Merrimack and started their program up. And I would say that Coach Bramer helped me a ton. We didn't gel real well as a team. 3 of us got to the pros. Eugene Moore from Sumner and Barry Arms from Beaumont. We all had a shot at playing pro ball, and yet we were 500 team in the Missouri Valley.
In the Missouri Valley was tough then.
Well, Louisville, of course, had two pretty good players in Wes Unseld and Butch Pearson. It was a difficult league.
Yeah.
Talk about one thing you mentioned. You mentioned 3 guys, obviously from St. Louis, like especially during the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. St. Louis U just had everybody from St. Louis went to St. Louis U. Talk about just playing with guys that you probably played with or against in high school, and how St. Louis was able to keep all these top players in town.
Yeah. it was true, I guess, if you think about it all, just the continual flow of players from schools. Part of it probably was religious because a lot of those players went to St. Louis U High. But then there was a local pull or tug. I guess the difference in some ways might have been media. What's the reputation of a Michigan State when you're a kid here in St. Louis or whatever. So part of it was just not being aware of what else is out there. Bill McDermott, who's kind of Mr. Soccer here, would tell you that every kid that came out of St. Louis would go to a St. Louis school, and then it started to break. They got a guy went to Indiana, that sort. So the other schools started to come here to pick up the talent, and of course it dissipated. But so I don't know why, other than I know why I went, but I guess the other people had similar stories.
You mentioned Wes Unseld. That happens to be my uncle, and when I was a kid, when I go to my grandma's house, in the big scrapbook, there's still this is years ago. There's still a big picture when he was at U of L, and it's him and you both going for a rebound. I wish I had kept that picture because I remember that vividly. It was a great picture, and then years ago when I see you and everything, I said, "Oh yeah, he played against the West." But like you said, the Valley back then was an incredible league. Like Ron said, the Valley was just an incredible conference for basketball, wasn't it?
I didn't realize that Wes was your uncle. Mm-hmm. We had two experiences. I'll tell you briefly. We played in the World Student Games, which was the middle year Olympics, and he was on the team. And of course, he was a star. I got to be with him, but we were in San Francisco training, and this is during Haight-Ashbury. So he and I walked from practice down the hill from the university, and you'd see four people carrying a sign that was saying whatever they were going to say. So it was a weird time, but we had a good time personally that way. And then we went to play, and I remember being in Freedom Hall, and it was halftime, and we were ahead of Louisville by 2 points or something. And the coach ran out on the floor and got in Wes's face and started yelling at him. I thought, man, I'm not coming back out here because it was all over after that.
It's unbelievable. Well, then, gee whiz, let's see. You played in the NBA, Detroit, Milwaukee, Boston, Carolina, Miami, Dallas. Can you talk a little bit about the experiences in those different venues? The good, the bad, and the ugly.
It was obviously a good experience, and very proud of it. A lot of it is sort of circumstantial. I was in Detroit. Coach was Paul Seymour, and we got along well, but he needed a different piece. And so I went to Milwaukee, which was an expansion team. Wayne Embry was their center, but Wayne was on the back end of his career, and I think he was hurting a little bit. So I went there, and then the next year was the NBA used to do a draft with a coin toss. The bottom two teams flip a coin. Well, Milwaukee won, and they got Kareem, and you're not going to believe who they cut. So off I went. off I went, and Boston, a guy named Jim Barnes had gotten hurt. So I went there, and I had a shot, but I wasn't an integral part of what they were looking for. It was the year after Russell retired, and they were rebuilding sort of. Bones McKinney, who was Red Auerbach's friend, was in the ABA at Carolina, and so I got to switch down there and had a lot of fun playing in the ABA.
Well, what a great career! My goodness, you're a state champ at DeBerg. You're a legendary St. Louis U player, and then you played in the NBA and you were a part of 6 different franchises. Not many people in St. Louis could speak to that. What I really was impressed with, and I was joking around a little before, but it's really impressive that you were a school teacher, and you taught chemistry. And did you teach physics also?
I did.
Well, Yeah, and you were at MICDS. That must have been something. They got some really smart kids over there, don't they?
It was an experience, a good experience. Coming from South St. Louis, it was not a world that I was used to being in, but it was all girls at the time. It was before they merged, and no, it was a really good experience. I was there for 6 or 7 years. A friend of mine, Jerry Bain, was at Francis Howell. He had worked with Rich Grauer at this Met.
Boomer, yeah.
Boomer, right. And so he had a team. We had a 6'10" center and a 6'5" forward and a couple guards, and we thought we had a shot at state. And so he hired me or got me to come to Howell to be his assistant coach and teach there. And Howell's a long drive from University City. So after a couple
Yes,
of years,
it is.
I got a shot at Brentwood, and I thought that's a much better fit.
Yeah, well, Rich was the baseball coach, Earl, at Brentwood.
Oh, okay.
For many, many years. Yeah. Talk a little bit about that baseball experience. And did you play baseball when you were a young man?
I thought I did. I don't think many of the coaches thought I was playing baseball, but no, it was Jim Taylor was the head coach, and I just learned a lot by listening to him and the ins and outs of the game. Mike Immergut also was a coach, and he knew pitching well. So it was a great time. My feeling always was, as a coach, the kids look at you one way, and as a teacher, particularly a science teacher, they look at you another way. And so I thought there was a good way to build a bridge in that way. And so I didn't have a lot of problems in the classroom, which is wonderful.
I was a very troubled student when I was young. And if I walked into a classroom and acted, like I normally did, very foolish, and I saw somebody like you standing there, that probably would have straightened me out very quickly without a word being said. Huh, Earl?
Absolutely. I always ask coaches this when you're on, did you see whether you're on the court, basketball court, or the baseball diamond as a coach as an extension of the classroom, like 8th period, 9th period, and these are your...
I don't think I thought about it that way, but I just felt that because you're a different person in both of those situations, and in both situations, hopefully you're there to help the kid, but it's just two different ways, and so I felt very fortunate. Brentwood's a small school, as you know, so you can do all kinds of things, as well as students. If you want to be in the play and it's baseball season, the theater teacher comes and says, "Hey, let's work it out." And we did,
Well, I'll make a quick shout out when you're talking about Brentwood, Earl, and this young man. He was a student of mine years and years ago at Spady Elementary School, and he worked his tail off to get advanced degrees, and he helped his mother at home. He did everything you're supposed to do. He was hired originally, this young man, as a security guard at Ladue while he was trying to get his degree at night. Well, to make a long story short, Eddie Johnson, he's the principal over at Brentwood. What a great story about a young man like that, Earl, and what he did. And how about his son? Talk a little bit about his son, Earl.
Well, his son's about 6'6", 6'7" already. He goes to St. Louis U High. I think he's going to be one of the future football standouts. I believe he already has an offer from Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Freshman.
He's a freshman, but Eddie's a pretty big man, and this young man is already 6'6", so he's got a bright future and a really good football program as well.
I was not aware of that. I'd have been nicer to him. So,
Well, it's okay. Listen, tell me, Pomerantz called me this morning, and he said, you're going to have Rich on. Pomerantz thinks that Rich Neiman is just one of the greatest people that he's been involved with in his lifetime. And they had a luncheon the other day that they invited Pomerantz to. And, I guarantee you he was the only Jewish guy at that luncheon.
No. We had two.
Really?
Jim Rothbard, who actually organized.
That's right. Yeah.
Organized the thing.
Tell us about the luncheon. This is great.
Way too many people from WashU. There were like 3. And I think there's something wrong if you're going to lunch and 3 people went to WashU. So that was the only problem. But no, they were all guys with whom we've played in various leagues, games, whatever. And Gary Sparks, of course, played at WashU and is still running a little game down here. He's 78 and still playing.
Is that right?
And, Ken Renderknecht, who played at WashU, and Ken was a parole officer, and now he's working in the Northside Community School, helping them. They're in the heart of where the tornadoes hit and all the destruction and damage that's causing to the families. So, and then of course Sandy. So,
yeah. Well, I also was doing a little research on you, and gee, what a great family you came from. Your brother is a priest. Is that correct?
He is indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's he?
Right now he's at, after the reorganization and stuff, he's at Providence and Annunciation. I think they're both in Webster. About a mile apart or so. And he's a retired pastor, so he's liking not having to make all the decisions. So, I tell him what to do anyway.
You don't tell him anymore, or he doesn't tell you, right? That's awesome. Well, Earl, what do you think? You know what, Earl? I was telling him before, think about this, Earl. I'll bet you that this show that you and I co-host, I will challenge anybody out there if they have had 3 7-footers on their program.
Oh, yeah. Tom Dorr, Steve Stepanovich.
Wow.
And Rich. Yeah, we've had 3 7-footers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And all good guys.
Yes.
Every single one of them. Tom Dorr wants to come back on the show.
Imagine. Before we go to our break, we used to play against Rich. I remember Bob Benben was our coach at Lindenwood, of course, Augustinian, Pattonville. And one of our scrimmages would be against Cootis. He would bring you guys in to play against us.
When it was legal.
Yes. But it was fun. I had to guard Rich. I played forward. But one thing I also remember too is one of your teammates was Vince DeGrief. I still to this day have never seen Vince DeGrief miss a jumper. 17 feet. It wasn't 3-point shot, 15 to 17 feet. Right. His range was, I never seen him miss a jumper. But it was fun. That experience was great. You guys, I think in your 40s at that time probably, but could still play. Yeah. And you guys played a lot of ball, didn't you?
We did. We were kind of crazy. We were going 2 or 3 days a week between a league, and then when it was legal to scrimmage, the local schools. And I think the coaches just they were so tired of running their offense against themselves, they thought they could run it against us. And, of course and then also we were aware that we're trying to play fairly and we're not going crazy on it. We're not going to try to lay anybody out or do any of that stuff. It just play ball.
All right. But first half, we're going to continue on with Billick and great Rich Neiman. You're listening to the Earl Austin Experience, the easy second hour on KLIS, or you can listen live on demand at luinfo.com.
The Lou Information Station.
and Hall of Famer Rich Neiman. But first, I want to let you know that Fast Track Auto Transport has been a trusted leader in vehicle shipping for over 25 years, providing reliable, affordable service across the U.S. Fast Track offers fast and safe transportation solutions for individuals, dealerships, fleets, and businesses of all sizes. The Fast Track team prides itself on honest communication, competitive pricing, and real-time tracking, which gives our customers peace of mind from pickup. Whether you're shipping a single car or managing a large fleet, Fast Track delivers a smooth, hassle-free experience every time. Come see why Fast Track Auto Transport has been St. Louis's go-to company for your vehicle transport needs for over 25 years. The trusted with safe way, the Fast Track way. Visit ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004. That's ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004. Talking it over with Hall of Famer Rich Neiman. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, Ron, we had on the Rich Eichhorst and Rich, he went to Hancock, and of course Rich went to the Berg. Talk about the talent that was being produced on the south side of St. Louis. Like you say, we're also talking about Cleveland High School. You mentioned Southwest High School, Roosevelt, a lot of talent on that south side back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, it looked like.
Right. There was for sure. You can go through the Bob Ferry.
Yes.
and his I guess sons went to Cleveland. Bob Miller went to Cleveland
High School,
one of those
right.
two, and there were a lot of players come out of there. Hancock was a smaller school, and I got to meet Rich just because I was in the neighborhood, and at that time my mother wouldn't let me play, so I didn't start playing until I got to high school. But it was a good place to be. Unfortunately, I think the racism was still a bit, there was that dividing line. And as a kid, you probably didn't, I didn't pay enough attention to it, but it was obviously there. And unfortunately,
You got a chance to, did you get a chance to play against the public high league teams at that time? I guess Beaumont and Sumner.
We did Sumner.
Plus in the Normandy tournament too.
Yeah, Sumner was on our schedule in the Normandy tournament. I think we may have played Cleveland. The Catholic High League had 6 or 7 teams, and so if you play home and home, there's a bunch of games and then a tournament and stuff. But it was humbling sometimes. Well, Sumner beat us by like 15 the year we won state, but they had a mid-year graduation policy, and Eugene Moore, for one, was gone by that time. So different factors that come into play and stuff like that.
But didn't know how you guys were together at St. Louis University. So, and that's the thing about college too. You get guys from diverse backgrounds, and you get to learn a lot about each other, don't you? Not only as teammates, but as people. Yeah. I imagine.
My first day at SLU, the day you're supposed to move into the dorm, I walked in with my 2 suitcases, and in the little lobby at Griesbach Hall, Gene Moore is sitting there watching TV, and I, of course, knew him. We'd played a little bit in the summer, but not really well. And so we just started talking, and some guys say, "Hey, we got a softball game." So off we went, and it was normal, which I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
Well, while we had our break, and I just want to say this, Earl and I both we're very, very in tune with the greats. The greats of you got it.
Yeah, we're
okay.
Good.
Yeah, we're really we want to honor all the great athletes that we remember, that St. Louis should not forget, and that's why we have you on the show today. And we've had Rich Eichhorst in here, and we had Coach Vitello, and it goes on and on and on, because it's important that these young people today realize that there was a foundation built for them many, many years ago by guys like yourself. And Rich, you and I were talking about how important the friendships are that you develop in athletics, more so than the wins and the losses when it's all said and done. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? I was really impressed with the way you brought that up before.
Well, thank you for that. On those occasions that you get to speak in front of a 8th grade basketball team or a high school class or whatever, I try to stress that, because I do feel that, it's nice to have won championships or have a medal or be first in this or whatever, but it really is the people that you associate with along the way. And then you reach the point where we're all at now, is where you're hanging out with former opponents. And that's another good feeling, that you both respect each other and what they have done and what you've done. And now it's just a matter of sharing some experiences and that.
Well, probably one of your great experiences, we brought it up briefly before and we talked about it during the break, but let's talk about it now. Winning that state championship, and was that game played down in Columbia also?
At the time, we played at WashU's Fieldhouse.
That's right, at WashU's Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the districts, in our case, the districts were at what was called O'Fallon Tech. Now it's Gateway. But our first game, we played against JoJo White's team, and, 3, JoJo White, Harrison Stepter, Tom Johnson, good players, but younger than we were.
Right.
And so we squeaked by there, and then we played St. Louis U High, who had beaten us twice during the season by a point. And then, of course, they cheated those games, but then we won the game where the good officials were.
I understand that.
So we got out of the districts that way, and then we went to WashU and played Beaumont, Barry Arms, and I'm trying to remember the other guard from Beaumont at that time also went to college. Just a good experience. You get into it and you just do what you do. There's no plan ahead or anything.
What's amazing, during that state run, you named about 4 or 5 names that either went to NBA or just major college, right? Just to, including yourself, just to get out of district and get the state. There's so much of the talent in St. Louis at that time.
Yeah. As I said, JoJo at the time was a couple years younger than we. But
and Harrison was a great player. Yeah.
Oh, good players. Eugene, a guy named Greg Glore, played at Sumner. But anyway, as a student, you just kind of going on and doing what you do. But very fortunate to be part of that.
Have your teammates from that championship team, do you guys ever get together, Rich, or see each other?
We had a 50-year reunion the school put on. So that would have been, let's see, whatever year that would have been, like 2014 or something like that. And not too much. There's several of us that are in touch at our class reunions and stuff.
Sure.
It was a special time for the school. It helped. I believe that it helped our class, which was 600 or 700 students, come together as with good purpose.
Well, while you're on that, I'm just going to read off a few names here that are DeBerg alumni. Is this Jeannie Levitt? She was the first female fighter pilot. Got the Distinguished Award. See, I'm telling you something today. See, okay. So I did a little homework. Let's see. Jack Dorsey. Pretty strong guy who's Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter, DeBerg graduate, and
Square.
Roy Ellinger, civil rights activist.
Okay.
Wow. How about this? These 2 soccer guys, Steve Frank and Lenny Hausman. So DeBerg, and then you're a Distinguished Award winner also. What a great honor to be amongst those 6 or 7 unbelievable people, Rich.
And DeBerg became this is about, I guess 20 years after, was when I was in college, they became a girls basketball powerhouse in the 80s.
They did. And that was right at the advent of the girls being able to compete. And a guy named Don Burris,
yes.
who coached them and was also the football coach, which I'm trying to imagine the transition between the boys' football practice and the girls' first basketball practice. But and then after he was done with that, he taught square dance. There's some kind of a high school league of square dancers, and he was doing that. I'm going, it's pretty.
That's because that's when I first learned of the wooden shoe game, which was DuBourg and St. Mary's would play for the wooden shoe. I mean, seriously, I covered it a couple times back in the 80s, and it was like I say, we talk about rivalries. That was quite a deal back in the day.
It was.
Well, I have the greatest, I don't know, maybe nostalgia or whatever, but I just love what went on back in those days. I loved it, the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And Rich and I, we were talking about running from one camp to another camp to get a hitting lesson, to get a kicking lesson, to get a this lesson and that, and how it's nonsensical, according to, that's my opinion. People would disagree with me. And then we just talked briefly about a guy who was a pretty good passer. He never had a lesson on how to throw a football. And the guy could hit a baseball pretty well, and he could shoot the basketball pretty well. A guy by the name of Mike Shannon. He never had any lessons when he was a little boy, and he made it for one reason. He was good. Earl.
He was one of the great talents. Great talents. I mean, just like you say, 3 sports, could do it all. No question.
And he didn't need, I mean, if you're good, you're good. Am I right, Rich?
Yeah, well, certainly you got to have the start, and coaching obviously helps hone those skills and make you better. I just wish it didn't have to start so early, or if kids didn't have to make a choice between I'm going to play high school or I'm going to play club. And then I'm back to friendships. You know, if your buddies at high school, you're not able to be with them, and then all you're with are all the kids from wherever they are.
Earl, you have great recall. Why don't you, if you can recall what Vitello said about that when he was a soccer coach over at Smet, and the 12 people will watch you when you go to Louisville this weekend, but all your friends who are playing soccer here at the Smet, they'll be waiting for you the next day, telling you what a great game you played and so forth and so on. And boy, that made a lot of sense.
Absolutely. I want to ask Rich also, we talk about how the game of basketball has evolved, and we've had 7-footers on the show. What's it like at the pro level, even at the college level, to see young men who are your height at 7 feet are playing guard, basically? Like Kevin Durant is your height, basically.
Right.
And then you got guys taller than that who are basically can play the guard position. What's that like watching how that game has evolved like that when you see big men doing things that usually smaller men are supposed to be doing?
Well, when we talk about nostalgia and we think about how the game was played, unfortunately, I think we're always looking for that kind of a game, and my game is gone. The post center and all that stuff is gone because of the range and the talent of these guys. So you've got the guy at San Antonio, Wembayama, who's 7'4",
yes,
and apparently can shoot and dribble and pass and post up too, depending on whatever. That's an amazing combination. I think people keep wanting to say who's the best, and it's really, really hard to compare athletes from generations. Bob Bowman, who was our trainer at St. Louis U and the Cardinals, this is the 60s now, don't lift any weights. It's going to tighten up your muscles and you won't be able to shoot. Don't swim. It's going to make your muscles too flexible and you won't be able to shoot. So we didn't do any of that stuff. And now, you just got to look around and see what's going on.
And now when you go down to the Chaffetz Arena and you see somebody like Robbie Avila, who's kind of looks like a throwback type of guy, but he's big, he's 6'10", but he's about 260 and he's not muscle bound. And to see him do what he does at this level, how fun is that watching Big Robbie out there?
It is. I really enjoy his vision. That's what I think is the key, just the ability to see and then I never had the ability to pass, because why would you pass when you can shoot it, right?
Of course, of course.
But anyway, it's a different game for sure.
I tell Pomerantz all the time. You talk about why pass it. I told Pomerantz, I said, if I wasn't your friend, I said you wouldn't have had the points you had. See, because I was nice enough to get the ball to you, and I joke around a lot. He was one great player too, and I mean he could really shoot that thing. He could shoot it.
Yeah.
He just didn't like to play near the basket as much as he could have, and maybe it's because if you could spot up from 15 or 20 feet every time the ball touched your hands and shoot it, why go any closer? I mean,
Right.
he was a very good shooter, but there were some great players in those days, and I'm going to research it, Earl, to see. I think that Mr. Neiman here might still have the scoring record of the Normandy Christmas tournament. What a great honor that would be.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like you said, back then they have like the Christmas trees lit up, kind of with the brackets, and it was a show.
Yeah,
I missed.
Really was.
I wish I was around just to see that element. 32 teams, different brackets.
Yeah, they had a large division and a small.
It was the red and the green.
Red and green.
The red were the big schools, and the green were the small. And
so everybody had a
16 in each. Yeah, 16 in each bracket, red and green. And if you won that Normandy Christmas tournament, you had to win 4 games over a very short period of time. And the championship game, when I played, I was in one championship game in my junior year. U City won it when Pomerantz was a sophomore, and Wilbur Marsh, who was a great center who went to SMU, he became their captain. That was the best team U City ever had. Unfortunately, Marsh got hurt late in the year, somewhere around February, and his dad was a chiropractor, and he wasn't a medical doctor, and Wilbur had a broken bone in his foot and played with it for a while. And then when they finally figured it out, he had to sit for a while. When we came back for the playoffs, Mercy, which they were not nearly as good a basketball, they beat us in the district final. And it was devastating to those seniors because they were really good. But then the next year, things got a little better. But in the Normandy tournament that year, we beat Maplewood 72-49, Merle, in the finals, and Maplewood took second in the state that year. So you lose one player can hurt you.
About players, Maplewood, Matthew H.
Michigan State,
I mean,
great player,
just-
absolutely.
Just keep on going down the line.
Yeah, the big guy that went to
Think about it.
Indiana too, the 6'7", I forget his name off the top
Was
of
it
my head.
Well, hey,
Was it DeHare?
Bill DeHare,
Bill
that's
DeHare.
right.
Bill DeHare,
Bill
well,
DeHare.
before-
Yeah,
before them, Earl,
yeah.
what about Jack Perry?
I didn't know
Jack
him.
Perry,
Yeah.
he was a great player.
Wasn't
And-
he like an early draftee or something?
Yeah, well,
like,
but
as a
he
territorial draftee?
yeah, but he went to Vanderbilt,
right.
and Jack Perry was a great player. And when we played Maplewood, they had a great coach, Howdy Sanders. Remember Howdy?
The name.
What a guy. And then I always said this, and I'm not going to mention my coach's name because I will not. I do not want to. He's passed, and I don't want to be negative. But St. Charles beat us when we were seniors. We only lost 5 games.
What year was that?
57.
Okay.
And we lost to St. Charles twice, and they won the state championship. And I tell
Remember
people,
the coach of that team?
well, here's what I'm going to tell
There
you.
you go.
I said, if we played St. Charles 10 times, they're at an advantage every game because they had Gene Bartow on their
Yeah.
bench.
Wow.
I happened to be at a game in 2007 watching St. Charles and St. Charles West, and it happened to be they celebrated the 50-year anniversary of that championship team. They still have the scoreboard, the little replica of the scoreboard when they beat North Kansas. It was pretty cool to see. I think Dwayne Bond and a lot of those guys were still living then. It was kind of cool to see.
Well,
that.
You talk about integration and segregation. St. Charles' 2 best players, without a doubt, Kenny Clark,
yes.
and Frank Williams, two African-American kids. And in that suburban league that I played in, I cannot remember. Now I'm probably off, but they might be the only two African-American guys that I can remember playing against at that time. And were they good? No, they were tremendous. I never played against guys like that. So yeah, they were great. And they had a great coach in Gene Bartow.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well, what we're going to do is we got to get out of here early. We got East St. Louis Flyers football coming up. But once again, Ron, obviously we want to thank Rich for coming in. As we said, one of the great players in St. Louis, but one of the great people as well, Hall of Fame person as well.
A Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame human being.
No doubt about it.
Honored to have him in here with us.
Thank you. I'm going to pick up my check on the way out.
Absolutely. Well, that'll wrap up another edition of the Earl Austin Experience, the Easy Second Hour. We'll be back next Saturday. You can listen live on demand at luinfo.com. Thank you for all our guests. Stay tuned for East St. Louis Flyers football with Maurice Scott on the call.
Is your brand stuck on the side?